It's 7:30. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett live on News 6 Plus. Click Orlando.com at our YouTube channel. Good to be with you. It is October 3rd, and we're looking forward to hitting the end of that week. And we have meteorologist Michelle Morgan in for Candace today. We have an interview coming up, too, to talk about how art can really help improve your health. And there's some things happening locally that involve that as well. So we'll talk to Winter Park Health Foundation and find out more about some events and some different resources here on hand to improve your wellness and get you feeling a little creative. And that's always fun. So we'll talk about those benefits in a bit. But first, getting to this weather, there's some good news. So I'll get over to Michelle now. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Bridget. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good today. I have some good news to report on when it comes to the weather.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty hot topic with, the Gulf once again being highlighted by the National Hurricane Center, especially weeks prior to Hurricane Helene, devastating not only the Big Bend region, parts of Georgia and the Carolinas. So, everybody's been pretty stressed about it.
Yeah.
But the National Hurricane Center has lowered the chances for tropical development in that area in the next 7 days. So that's great
That
news.
is. And
So
that's a relief.
isn't it a relief?
hmm
Yes. So as we take a look at your local forecast before we get into the tropics, it is a really nice start to our morning. Check out the sunrise over Daytona Beach. Gorgeous. We have temperatures at 76 degrees. Winds are nice and light out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour, but the humidity pretty high at 91%. You'll certainly feel it as you're heading out, but we do have some dry air trying to work itself into our northern counties. So because of that setup, it's going to keep our rain chances low for Marion, Volusia, Flagler, even parts of Lake County, stretching into Sumter County today. Now that front is draped over Osceola County and Brevard County, so rain chances will be moderate for you with a few downpours across your area this afternoon. Now temperatures are starting off in the lower 70s in the villages in Ocala, upper 70s in Kissimmee and Orlando, and then 79 in Cocoa Beach, 81 in Melbourne. Now, through today, temperatures will climb into the upper 70s around lunch under partly cloudy skies, and I'm only calling for a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms this afternoon, and then we're looking dry as we get closer to sunset. For the rest of Central Florida, highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s. It is going to be a beautiful day, and even your clouds and rain forecast showcasing that as we go through the rest of the morning. A few isolated showers over our southern counties, so Osceola County, even parts of Brevard County, and then heading into the afternoon. Right along the I-4 corridor, a few isolated downpours are possible, but things fading heading into tonight under mostly clear skies. Really not a bad forecast. Now, switching gears to what's happening in the tropics. There's that area I was talking about with Bridget. Now, a few days ago, it was at a 40-50%, and chances continue to decrease due to a few factors. We do have some wind shear happening across the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that broad area of disorganized showers and storms, and the National Hurricane Center has now lowered the formation chances to 30%. So that's fantastic. As we go through the next coming days, models are suggesting that a low pressure is going to try to form over the Gulf of Mexico, but a hurricane is looking unlikely as of right now due to the latest information. But it is going to get wrapped up with a frontal boundary, and that frontal boundary is going to push some of that tropical moisture into central and south Florida. So that's going to increase our rain chances as we head into our Sunday, Monday, and also Tuesday. As we take a look at what else is happening here across the tropics, I am tracking Leslie, and in front of it, Kirk. Kirk is expected to become the next major hurricane of the season. It's not going to bother anyone. And then Leslie is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane later on this week. But great news, it is staying far away from us. But even though Kirk is far away, about 2,000 miles away, it is going to kick up our surf as we head into the weekend. So expect a rough surf and also high rip current risk through our Saturday and Sunday if you are planning a beach day. So I'll leave you with your 7-day forecast. 91 today, 30% chance for showers and storms, 89 tomorrow, also a 30%. Now, it kept rain chances low as we head into our Saturday, and then rain chances slowly going up Monday into our Tuesday, Bridget.
Okay, you know what? That weekend, I can handle that. I thought it was a little bit more of a washout. I don't know why, but I think last night's rain and the rain the night before, I thought like, is this going to be like all weekend like this or?
Well, you know what happened? The dry air actually arrived a little bit earlier. It's going to stick around heading into the weekend. So anytime we see that setup, it's going to lower our rain chances. So not a washout. So if you want to plan anything with the kiddos, maybe take them to the playground or something like that, we're looking good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle. And that is such good news about that system because I think we all had a little anxiety about that. So thank
Yes.
goodness some answered prayers there. So we'll keep watching for more updates. We'll hang out with you a little bit later. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. All right. So we want to hang out with Steve now, yeah, he's over there. I miss you being in results one, but are those days
I tell
over?
you, no, those days aren't over. I just get to do what's convenient for me, and
Okay.
sitting here
I'm just
and
trying to see.
doing
I'm
this.
like, is it up on blocks right now in the back or like what's
No,
okay? Like
Michelle over here
where's the
laughing like
truck?
results one got jacked from
Where
me or
is the
something like
truck?
that. Um, no, I have tend to just get it ready. The signal is better in here when we're doing this. But if I got to bail out early, you know what? I'll give you
You'll be
that
in the
one day
truck.
next
Okay.
week
You
just to
keep saying
help
I'm gonna get to
breakfast.
go in the truck. Are we gonna go in the truck for breakfast at some point,
I
Kathleen?
think we need that would be
I
so cool.
and where are we going? Where are we going? We got all kinds of ideas, so we'll talk about that later.
You
The
seeing that I'm
signal's
having
better, he
signal trouble
says.
here.
The signal's better, he says.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
meanwhile I'm freezing up right here in the studio. Let's just get straight to traffic. Let's just check these roads. All right. So the roadways right now, we've had issues along the Florida Turnpike this morning down in Kissimmee, Osceola County. Now, I don't believe it was caused by the weather that Michelle was pinpointing this morning, but it's definitely two pieces of the recipe that you don't want happening down there. So Florida Turnpike kind of getting back into business, but Kissimmee Park Road, you're now clear. Where are the problems? It's right within that whole area, Neptune Road, 192, and those northbound lanes of the Florida Turnpike. The crash is clear, so please don't be the one that hits the person in front of you for just doing what they're supposed to be doing and you didn't stop, because then we're going to have more problems out there. I-4 traffic, not horrible, 36 minutes, Champions Gate to downtown. And I do have a crash out here along 408. So let me pull up the DOT cam and show you exactly where this is at. So if you're traveling on eastbound 408 and going to continue eastbound past I-4 and Orange Avenue, or you're on I-4 getting ready to hop on to eastbound freight, there's a crash directly on your right side. It is slowing down the ramp dramatically this morning. So please make sure that you're just really careful out there for me. Seminole County, we're seeing those westbound delays out in your area. But 434 DOT camera right there at Douglas showing, hey, we're looking pretty good this morning. I was going to say it's not looking good if it's still dark outside, but it just unfroze. So we're doing much better out there. Bridgett, outside of that, the rest of us nice and clear. Some spotty crashes here and there. I'm going to be headed up to DeBerry this morning. Never in my life, I think I've probably driven through there, but we've done nothing work-related in DeBerry. So a viewer sent me an intersection that they want me to go look at. There have been multiple crashes at this
Oh.
intersection, and they sent me pictures. So they want me to go look at it, get my opinion. We've gotten results at intersections before. Heck, I posted the other day about 6 foot of just grass and all this stuff at an intersection over by the railroads in Seminole County at Lake Mary. And the visibility problem was crazy. So if you're
Wow.
at home and you see stuff like this, send it to me, because the power of social media is intense. It took less than 24 hours of me posting that on Facebook, and Seminole County government came in and cleaned.
That is really good to hear. You know, it just goes to show
So
that sometimes there's a
I'm
long list of
trying,
things
Bridgett.
they're
I
trying to
promise I'm
get
trying.
to. I know there's a long list of things that they're trying to get to in the different departments when it comes to these roads and the different infrastructure with the lights. But sometimes if you can highlight it, like by, networking with you, and then it gets the word out a little bit better to like maybe put this higher on the priority list to get it done. And so, oh, here he is. So yeah, so like I was saying, you get that higher in the priority list because there's such a long list of things that they haven't gotten to yet.
Absolutely.
But if it's like super unsafe, let's get that one escalated.
If it's right by a school bus or a school bus drop or even some type of railroad crossing, you got to keep that safe for the kids in the morning. So once they came out, people were like, man, News 6 getting results. I'm like, that's what we do,
Just
guys.
let us
That's
know.
what we do. So
Cool.
awesome. I'll see you later.
And that's an area that's growing so much. So as it grows, there's some things that might need to be changed up. So
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So
We'll see you out there at 10.
I'll see you guys. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Steve. He's just right around the corner. So that worked. That works. Okay. So we're going to tell you about something that's really sad. Winter Garden is losing Garden Theater. And this is really shocking and making a lot of people sad this morning because it's been a sudden shutdown. No one realized that this beloved local theater was having financial issues. And they are saying that some of the funding has been cut that comes in through the government. So that's not helping things either. So this theater is on Plant Street in Winter Garden, if you're not familiar. It was first founded in the 30s. Then it reopened in 2008. Volunteers showed up last night to volunteer and, found the doors closed. So News 6's Mark Lehman has more on what's going on there.
Coming over here and seeing all of the lights dark, it's very hard.
Rebecca Lewis says she had to see it for herself. As a volunteer at the Garden Theater, she got an email saying there will be no concerts and movies scheduled for this weekend and beyond.
And it's sad to see closed down. It's sad that we're losing an integral part of our community.
The theater posting a message on their website saying financial challenges have become insurmountable, forcing the doors to be closed. It comes after Governor DeSantis vetoed $32 million of arts funding from this year's state budget.
We knew probably was going to be a problem because of the funding being cut from the state government.
Sherry Colombero's grandson was in an upcoming play at the historic theater. It was originally built as a cinema in 1935 and underwent several renovations. Now, after learning about the closure, Colombero says breaking the news to her grandson will be difficult.
But I know he's going to be devastated because he was so excited about this play.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. I'm just hoping that maybe somewhere, someone can come through for them and help save things, at least for now. But we'll keep you updated on that. And a little bit later, we'll talk about the arts and how this type of involvement in the arts is actually so beneficial in health ways. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we want to talk about marijuana and an amendment that is set up in Results 2024, looking at making it legal in the recreational sense. So News 6 investigator Mike DeForest has more on that.
If approved by voters, Amendment 3 allows adults 21 years or older to possess, purchase, or use marijuana products and marijuana accessories for non-medical personal consumption by smoking, ingestion, or otherwise. The amendment allows medical marijuana treatment centers and other state licensed entities to acquire, cultivate, process, manufacture, sell, and distribute such products and accessories. That means Floridians could not grow marijuana at home. Only state-approved companies like TruLeaf, which currently provides medical marijuana in Florida, will be allowed to cultivate it.
They actually can get safe product versus the risk of getting something that's laced with fentanyl on the street. So that's why we're so strongly in favor of passing adult use.
The amendment makes no mention of where marijuana can and cannot be smoked. While some believe state lawmakers or local leaders could later implement smoking bans in public places like beaches or parks, opponents believe such restrictions would prompt legal challenges.
You're violating my constitutional right to smoke pot where I want to. So no, they can't. And that's the problem with the constitutional amendment. You have to be very careful when you're making decisions on voting yes or no on constitutional amendments because they will forever be enshrined as written.
Amendment 3, like all constitutional amendments, needs 60% of the votes to pass. If that happens, it will go into effect in the middle of next year. Mike DeForest, News 6.
To make sure you're informed about, make sure you're watching for that. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more about the benefits of arts when it comes to your wellness. And welcome back. Right now we want to talk about the benefits of arts when it comes to wellness. And this morning we have Jackie Carlin, the Community Education Director at the Center for Health and Well-Being, which was created by the Winter Park Health Foundation. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Bridget.
It's good to have you with us. And I know you heard about the Garden Theater, and that's like another case in point of just the way that the arts are, really losing a lot of support, but it's something that we need. It's vital for our health.
Well, and you saw right there with that young woman too, just how important the arts are to people's lives. I mean, you could feel her emotions, and really that's one of the things we see here too. I mean, the arts are so important not only for the enjoyment. We all love going to Dr. Phillips or going to a show or a concert, but they really have a powerful impact on our health. So this idea of arts and health has been around since the 1980s. In fact, now more than I think 50% of US hospitals have some arts programming. And here at the Winter Park Health Foundation, our mission is to optimize in people's lives their physical and mental and health well-being. And one of the key ways we do that is through arts and health programming and in community investments with arts organizations. So, we mentioned, you saw what happened there with the Garden Theater, and that's certainly something we hear from our arts partners. We work very closely with several local nonprofit organizations, such as the Creole Day School of Art, Central Florida Vocal Arts. So we're really passionate about keeping these arts alive because we know how important they are to people's lives.
And when we think about how this has been decades now, we've been really fighting to make sure arts are supported in schools, and that continues to be an outlet for people, because studies have shown it lowers your cortisol levels. That's your stress hormone. It helps with mental health. And I mean, we've done stories about how veterans with PTSD are, benefiting from art and music programs. So, I mean, there's really, no denying the impact of it, but why is it that we have to fight so hard to make sure it's supported?
For so many years, health was thought of very in these categories of your physical health. So you think of good exercise, good nutrition, going to your regular doctor's appointments. Of course, all of those things are very, very important to our overall health. But there is this growing field of research that shows exactly what you just mentioned. And really, people are embracing the idea that being creative is just good for us. It is plain fact, it is good for us, and it's good for our overall health. So, the science is there, and now it's just, making that awareness, more widespread throughout the community that's there. And you mentioned a lot of really great health benefits of it. And one of the things we see here at the Center for Health and Wellbeing is how powerful the arts are as a social connector. I don't know if you remember last year, the Surgeon General came out with a report that there's an epidemic of loneliness in this country. And it existed certainly before COVID, but COVID really exacerbated it for a lot of people, particularly older adults. And again, when you dig into those numbers, they're staggering. I read somewhere something like being lonely is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I mean, that's how detrimental it is to your health. So what we see, our arts programs, we do this wonderful monthly program called Exercise Your Creativity. We just had it yesterday. In fact, it's usually the first week of the month. And the idea of that program came from so many folks were coming to us and saying they were lonely. And, but they also were like, well, I see you have a watercolor class in your schedule or a writing class. I don't think I'm creative. And we're like, stop. You are creative. Every one of us as a child was encouraged to draw and pick up a pen or pick up a marker or watercolors, and we forget that somewhere along the line. So we created this class, and we frankly put out every kind of medium we have, and we encourage people to just play. And we knew it would be good to help people say, oh, maybe I am more creative than I thought, or I can do these things. But what I wasn't expecting to be as powerful is those social connections. The folks that have met in that room now have gone on field trips together. They get together for lunch regularly. And it's just, seeing that in action is really powerful. And again, also wonderful oneself.
Yeah. I mean, there's that term now, culture RX. And so how are we able to get more doctors and healthcare providers into sort of prescribing more activity for patients that, involve the arts?
This is an idea that has really taken off in the UK through their national health system. They have been using this culture RX or social prescribing. You might hear that word, thrown around from time to time. And it's the idea that, your doctor can write you a prescription for a medication to lower your cholesterol, or maybe, something to go to the gym. You see more in that with HSA accounts. But really, there's a growing field of medicine, and the University of Florida has a wonderful arts and medicine program, and they're leading the edge on this, that says, hey, let's start getting our physicians and our clinicians to prescribe creativity, whether that's, and it doesn't always have to be creating the art itself, which of course we think is the most powerful connector, but going to a free performance in a concert,
Mm-hmm.
listening to music, we have wonderful organizations here in Central Florida. And, we're all very sad about the Garden Theater, and we hope we don't lose any more, but we still are blessed with wonderful museums,
Mm-hmm.
performances. There's the Winter Park Playhouse here locally still doing plays. So just really encouraging people to get out there and do that. And I think you are going to see more and more physicians embracing this idea of getting their
Mm-hmm.
patients to partake in
Yeah.
the arts.
And I can't help but think about COVID too, because it, was this century event. And then you think about people who were really afraid of going out and being social, especially our older population. And it's been really hard to get them to go back out in some places. And I think even in Florida, I think we've been a little more mobile than even other parts of the country. So a lot of people are still very cautious. So how do we get over that?
They are, and there's a couple things. I do think one of the things COVID was wonderful for is breaking down the barriers of technology. So we actually have a wonderful calligraphy artist who teaches classes. She's got a great series starting next week, who learned calligraphy during the shutdown. She went online and started watching YouTube videos, and now became expert in it. She is teaching classes to our community. So I think there are so many online resources for those folks who have justly reasons to be more afraid, but there's also so much you can do, like getting outside. Nature is a form of art in many ways, and I know we're partners with Mead Gardens through our work at the Winter Park Alliance, and Mead Gardens has wonderful art programs outside, or so does the Polachek Museum. So where there's a will, there's a way, as they say. So you don't always, if not being inside or being around people is preventing you from partaking in the arts, I challenge people to get creative in many ways and find different opportunities to find out the arts.
Speaking of outside, you have the Arts Weekend coming up in February. That's a ways away, but that'll be starting on the 20th next year.
Yeah, so the Winter Park Health Foundation, we're very excited to be part of the Winter Park Arts and Culture Alliance. So what this is, it's an organization, 22 organizations around Winter Park, all nonprofit arts organizations. And we exist to help, shine the spotlight on each other. And one of the things the group is bringing back after a COVID delay is the Winter Park Arts Weekend. So it'll be February 20th to February 23rd. We're going to kick things off on that Thursday evening right here at the Center for Health and Wellbeing with a keynote address about this very topic, about arts and health, and kind of give people the why for the weekend. And then on Friday evening in Central Park and Winter Park, and all day Saturday, there's going to be wonderful performances and activities and opportunities to get creative for the whole family. And on Sunday, folks will be encouraged to go to these member locations for different activations and exhibits and all sorts of fun stuff. So I didn't give you this, but the WPinspires.org website is a good opportunity for people to check out the schedule for that weekend.
Okay, great. And as far as what the center is doing and how to sign up or costs involved, how can we get more information and figure out which might fit us the best?
Yeah, throw up in another website, yourhealthandwellbeing.org. So that's for the Center for Health and Wellbeing right here in Winter Park. And we have 30 to 35 different community education programs each month, and many of them are arts programs. Most of our programs are free, or if with our arts ones, sometimes there's a small program supplies cost, but these are open to anybody in the community. Anyone can come to these classes. And, we've got this month a spooky short story creative writing class. We had a clay class yesterday. We've got the calligraphy class I mentioned. So there are plenty of opportunities to find your creative niche and get involved and find something that really speaks to you. And we also have a performance coming up with Central Florida Vocal Arts in October. And we're actually bringing in some Advent Health clinicians to that to talk about this intersection of arts and health when it comes to performing arts.
Really wonderful. Well, Jackie, thanks for all you're doing there at the center, and thanks to all the folks there who are helping kind of keep us connected through the arts. That's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Bridgett. I appreciate it.
All right. Hope to see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And speaking of the arts and creativity, my co-anchor Crystal did a story the other day about sewing classes at the library. There are lots of ways to get creative with some of their activities at the library, so check that out too. We want to mention this Halloween Horror Nights contest before we go, because we're giving away tickets and time is running out to enter for your chance to win. So go to clickorlando.com/insider. Good luck, because we're giving away 2 pairs of tickets, and it is expensive to go to Halloween Horror Nights. It's a lot of fun, very scary, but if you're a big Halloween fan or you know someone, enter to win. And, if you don't want the tickets, give it to them. So get those in now while you can. Monday, is the last day to enter for those tickets. So good luck on that. Remember, we are going to hit the road and go to Pine Hills very soon, and we're telling stories about your community. So if you know someone who should be highlighted, if there's an issue you want covered, or a story that you'd like us to tell about the community, let us know. clickorlando.com/hitstheroad. So that's going to do it for us this morning, and I'll see you a little bit later at noon. Take care.